everyone, today we're going to look at normal distributions with Desmos. So this may be one of my favorite things that Desmos does. Let's start by having it do a standard normal distribution, and we do that by typing in normal, D-I-S-T. So now it knows we're going to look at normal distributions. And then when we put in the parentheses, you can see the settings that show this is a standard normal distribution. The mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1. To look at the cumulative probability, let's go ahead and push the plus to have it zoom in to show the bell-shaped curve. And then when I click, I can see at first it comes from negative infinity to infinity. So the total area under the curve is 1. Let's try going from negative 1 to 1. You can see it says 0.6826894921337. So it gives lots of decimals there, but it's that 68% that we expected within one standard deviation. Let's change that negative 2 to 2. There's our 95%, and then let's do negative 3 to 3. And there's the 99.7. So hopefully you remember we've talked about the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. Here we can see it in action for our standard normal distribution. We can also have very specific z-scores that we look at. So say we wanted to look at the z-score of everything to the left of 2.1. So my maximum would be 2.1. Then to make it go all the way over to the left, I'm going to delete what I had for the min. It will change to a negative infinity, and it says the amount of the curve to the left of z equals 2.1 would be 0.9821. Let's just go with 4 decimal places. If I want to change that number, maybe I want to do a negative. So let's say I do negative 0.63. Now it says the amount to the left is 0.264347, right? Keeps going. So all we have to do to get information to the left is put our maximum at the z we want it to be. So this is similar to looking at a chart where it gives the area to the left. If I want to look to the right, then the right says that would be our minimum. So let's say we start with a minimum of negative 1. To make it go all the way to the right, I delete what's in the maximum, it'll replace it with an infinity, and now I can see everything to the right. No need for subtraction, no need for any adjustment. I just go from the answer on the chart where I can see it's 0.8413 if I was going 4 decimal places. If I want to pick a bigger number, let's say I pick 0.85. Okay, now it says the information to the right is 0.19766. I would call that 0.1977 if I wanted to use 4 decimal places. If I want to go between z-scores, so maybe I want to go between negative 1.2 and positive 2.05. Okay. You can see it's highlighting the area. It's starting at negative 1.2. It's moving over to positive 2.05. If I'm going 4 decimal places, that says it's 0.8647. Again, no need for subtraction. I can use the numbers exactly as they appear in Desmos. So this saves you from having to do subtractions like you would do if you had a chart. Doesn't matter if they're both positive, both negative, whatever you want. Just remember to put the smallest number first and the larger number second. So if I try like negative 1.8, see how that says, oh, error, there's a little exclamation that came up. It's because I have them out of order. I always want to go smallest to largest when I'm giving it 2 values. So if you do run into that thing, maybe just do a really quick back check and see that you have the numbers in order. All right, so far these were all standard normal distributions, but it also can do normal distributions. The trick is go back into the parentheses and tell it what your mean is, what your standard deviation is. So let's say we had a mean of 10 and a standard deviation of 2. Okay, my chart graph fell away, so I'm going to push the plus sign. Now I can see my mean at 10. My standard deviation, we told it was 2. So maybe we want to see, oh, what percent would be 2 lower? So 2 lower than 10 is 8. 2 higher than 10 would be 12. we should not be surprised when it's 68% because that's one standard deviation. But you see, I didn't have to do a conversion of x minus the mean over the standard deviation. Desmos is doing it for us. So let's stay with the 10 too and say I want to know everything that's less than, let's do 13. Okay, so let 13 go to the min. Take that away, it becomes a negative infinity. And this says now, if I have a mean of 10, a standard deviation of 2, 0.933, I would call that a 2 if I'm doing 4 decimal places, would be less than 13. Maybe I want to know what percent of this standard deviation or this normal distribution is higher than 7. Okay, so let's say higher than 7 means 7 is the smallest. I take the 13 away, it will be replaced with an infinity, and it says, oh, look, this is 0.9332 is bigger than 7. So again, I didn't have to say 7 minus 10 over 2, no transition from normal to standard normal. Desmos is doing that for you. So this should be really easy, it should be really quick. The only thing you have to do is to remember to put in your mean and your standard deviation, and make sure you put in the values you want as the max and the min.